In this video, we're going to take you on site to a piece of property that I'm interested in buying. I'm going to walk you through it to show you what I look for to see even if I want it, right? But the key to this one and what's most interesting is you got to be careful of the dangers that pop up when you're buying older houses built before the 1950s and 60s. And this particular one was built in 1900, right? So come on along with us. I'm going to show you all the little things that you have to look for when you're buying older properties. It can get you in real trouble. Let's do it. Greetings, class. It's Chris Haskins with therealestateroundup.com. My mission and ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. So today we're going to be going on site. I want to show you a property I'm interested in buying. A lead came in from my pay-per-click campaign. That's where we pay to have our ads on Google. And if you want to see my company, I just hired a company to run all that stuff for me because I'm not a geek. I hired my own geek squad. That Geek Squad link is in the video description below. Jason can get you set up. Let's take a look at this. So the lead came in. The guy wants to sell the property. He's at $80,000. The story was he bought it several years back, did a land contract or a somewhat owner financing deal to another buyer. This buyer did all the work. Now he just wants to get out of it, cashing himself out, and cashing out the guy that has the land contract. Right, so we have two sellers potentially. So the guy that I'm dealing with is on title. He wants to get his money back, and then I'll have to cash out the land contract buyer as well. So the land contract guy has been living in there. I don't know what happened to him. But if you look at this here from bird's eye view, looks like it's a nice house, two-story house. The area doesn't look bad. I'm not mad at it. But if you scroll down and you say, look, red flag, ding, ding, ding. It was built in 1900. Oh man, that's red flag. Numero uno, right? And then you keep scrolling down and it says it's assessed for $79,000. But according to PropStream up here, it looks like they're selling for around 130, right? So you can't always rely on the numbers PropStream gives you. We have to go in there. You telling me this house is selling for 130, 140, but it's only assessed for 79? Red flag. So let's keep scrolling down on PropStream. Looks like he bought it for $25,000, right? He's got a mortgage for $35,000, and you got to have some type of online platform that's going to give you this. If you haven't already subscribed to PropStream, you can get a 7-day free trial. That link is in the video description as well. I negotiated a discount for you. It's a couple dollars, but still, you got to have a way to search owner information, mortgage information, beds, baths, all that stuff online. So PropStream will help you with that in all 50 states. Okay. So the guy told me he wanted $80,000. Let's see if we could possibly give him that. I'm looking for rental properties, which means I'm in it for the cash flow, right? So over the next few moments, I'm going to take you on site, and then I'm going to come back through and go over all this stuff, the dangers that could pop up when you buy older houses, right? And don't forget to take a second to subscribe to the channel if we're pouring into you. Like this content and share with any other investors that you think could benefit from learning how to become a real estate investor. All right, let's head over to the property. All right, class, so we're here looking at a house. I'm just going to walk you through this very quickly because I don't want you wasting a lot of time looking at houses. Smitty, thanks for working with me, bro.
You're welcome, Chris.
They want to see who you are. Smitty in the house, y'all.
Got me out on the road with you again.
Asbestos siding. All right, off the top, when I first show up, we've got asbestos shingles. Asbestos shingles. You don't know what type of permitting your city is going to require you to remove that stuff. I've had to pay top dollar to get asbestos removed from property. So that's one arrow down. Older houses have these asbestos shingles. You can't get away from them, right? So just keep that in mind. That could really drive your rental budget up. I don't know. That's not a bad thing though.
Covered up with vinyl.
I mean, the only reason I'm here, Roundup, I'm bringing you here, but the guy called me from my pay-per-click ads. And if you need pay-per-click ads, we're going to get a link for that. It's got new windows. Looks like they painted the front porch. So you understand the backstory on this. I already went over that. The only reason I'm looking at this one is because I'm looking for a property to hold, right? All this stuff, you can't be having this stuff here, man. The city does not like to see chip and paint. All right, as we're walking around the side there, you see the chipping paint. Generally speaking, that's older paint. We don't know how old that paint is. And the city also, where we are, requires a permit to handle any lead-based paint. All right, so you're gonna have to make sure your contractor or you gets a license for that. That's an additional expense. People can charge more when they have that special licensing. Lead-based paint, it used to be not a big deal, but any house built back in the day, you're gonna have to deal with it. And it's probably all over the house. It could be painted on the walls, interior, exterior, on the window sills. It could be everywhere. Especially in an area like this. This is what we call almost downtown Portsmouth. The city's gonna do inspections over here 100%. This looks good here. Somebody got that in there pretty good. So when the guy, he said the back door was unlocked. How you doing? How you doing, bro? You good? How you doing, bro? We got some exposed wood up there. Yeah, I would not, so far from looking at this on the exterior, I would not want to hold this property, but I am looking for rentals. All this stuff down here is gonna have to be wrapped. So the back door is open. Oh my Lord. You can see this.
Somebody converted it.
Sure enough it is, huh? This looks like it's got the gangster lean, almost like a shower. You see that? Next is gonna be, you see the floors are settling and sinking. As I'm walking in, you see that thing's got the gangster lean? What happens with older houses is you have settling. The bricks go down, the mortar starts to cramp up down on the sides, wood starts to drop, and you could have a small moisture leak where it could rot out the wood and have a joist drop, right? So that could make your rooms unleveled. And you're gonna see several rooms in this house, and it's a beast. Leveling floors, you gotta rip all that stuff up, raise it up. You can crack drywall, you gotta go back and repatch it. Once again, driving your budget up, right?
If you look, you've got the slope of the porch, but the door they've shimmed.
Oh, they shimmed it up?
Yeah, just for the door.
I see it. Now I see baby roaches in here, brother.
Uh-oh.
So he said the place needs a central heating in there. So far exterior, we're looking at probably 6,000. You can smell that dark almondy smell. That's roaches. You see he has this window open here, trying to get that funk out. Don't let the roaches get on you, brother. So. No, it's not that old. The guy, the backstory video, somebody bought this on a land contract and the original owner just wants out. So this ain't too bad. So it's he wants 80,000. No way I'm giving enough for this. Come on up. So downstairs. We will eventually need a new roof. Looks like they got a patch over there. You can take a look out there, Smitty. What do you think about that roof? Next one, regarding the shingles popping up, isn't actually indicative of an older property, but it is showing proof of an older roof, right? Whenever you see the little edges, and you gotta look close on this one because these are those cheap 3-tab shingles. Oh, I hate 3-tab shingles. Just spend a few dollars and give people architectural shingles. They last longer and they look so much better. They look three-dimensional when you drive by. But you see the corners of the shingle are starting to pop up. That means this roof is at the last stages of its life. So that's another expense. Gonna raise you up. If you buy this thing, you're gonna have to pay for it eventually, unless you do an owner financing. But I'm looking for this for rental property. You can take a look out there, Smitty. What do you think about that roof?
Seen better days.
Yeah, that roof has about 5 years left, you think? About 5 years? 5 years on that roof. So we got 2 bedrooms up here.
Old school, no closets.
No closets. One thing a lot of us nowadays don't consider is closet space. Closet space. When we go into houses now, They got closets so big, man, you could actually sleep in the closet, right? Huge closets. But back in the day, especially in the 1900s, my ladies, y'all didn't have all the shoes and all the clothes and the blouses and all the stilettos and all the stuff, hats, coats, everything that you have now. So you gotta have space. And one thing I've learned, you gotta accommodate the ladies. Ladies, I love y'all. Closet space. So these older houses, sometimes you overlook it. You see a bedroom, okay, boom. You don't even think, oh, what about the closet? A lot of ladies won't even move into a house unless it has a nice size closet. That's going to be narrowing, right? Narrowing your buyer pool or your rental pool. And the fireplace downstairs, those huge fireplaces take away from the square footage of the rooms. And this one is going all the way from the top to the bottom. Another way that water can penetrate. So another thing you got to worry about over time. And I just don't know if I want to deal with that. Got the gangster lean. You can see this floor is going down here. Going down, 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 down. No, I'm not getting shorter. The room, no closets. You're right, that's a good ass, Smitty.
Covered up fireplaces. And
Well, this is a dual fireplace, looks like, for the other bedroom too.
saw that downstairs too.
Yeah, good eye on that. The man says he wants, at first he told me 85,000, then he went down to 78, 80. This floor here, it doesn't necessarily need a bunch of reno, but when you got an old house like this, y'all, man, stuff just, when you put new stuff in it and cheap stuff, you see this laminate here. Nah, I don't want to deal with this. Oh, okay, the next thing that a lot of us don't think about now when we buy newer houses is the functionality. The functionality, you see, it's only got one bathroom upstairs, right? So if I'm hanging out downstairs, why do I want to go upstairs to go take a pee or number two, right? I mean, so that's something that your renter is going to look at. Man, darn, I got to go upstairs. All my family's downstairs every time. What about grandma and grandpa coming over that they may not actually want to go upstairs to use the restroom? A lot of stuff you got to keep in mind. So this one here, I don't, and arrow down having one bathroom upstairs, and it's two bedroom. We got to share that bathroom. Just nasty. What do you think, Smitty? All this plaster, you see all this plaster? They tried to bring it back to life, but it's just so old.
Yeah.
These older houses, it's very hard. You see this trim? Very hard, extremely hard to match up. Look down here, we got 6-inch molding on the floor. Hard to match up. So looking at the wood trim in this property, 6 inches. Now what happens back in the day, you may not know this, but the trim sizes are different. So nowadays we use smaller trim, generally speaking, right? But if you want to get that large trim, which you'll see here in the video, you may have to go to a lumber yard. And around here, a lot of our lumber yards aren't actually doing business. Then one went out of business. Lowe's and Home Depot don't carry this special lumber. So it's going to take you some time to find it. And further, you might have to create it, right? Put two pieces of wood together, which is going to do what? Jack your budget up. Jack your budget up. So the wood trim, very important. It's extremely hard to match up 100-year-old trim because they just used different size stuff back then. Do I want to deal with this? No. Very, very expensive. I gotta stop saying very. Extremely inexpensive laminate on the floor. The stuff sucks up funk and it gets wet. You smell the funk in here, Smitty?
Oh yeah.
Look at this. Why didn't they put the thing? They just got it run to here.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that where you just step down.
Oh yeah, here. Give them a shot of that too. So whoever did this didn't put a threshold there. They didn't even run it down there. So this cheap work. This stuff's gonna be coming up soon. Would you say, Smitty?
Oh yeah.
This stuff ain't gonna last. So, do we want to do this? I do not. I just don't even want to be in this part of town right now. If it was a newer house, this is an old house right here. Looks like they took this was a hallway here and they took this whole wall out. I'm good.
So, like you were talking, Chris, here's a perfect example with the
Cheap. Oh,
the trim,
look, yeah, they tried to match it up. Can't do it.
both sides.
Yep.
But
This
you
stuff,
can,
you
like
can.
said, it's expensive.
Man, try to match this up?
Yeah.
First of all, where you gonna find it?
Custom millwork. Oh, you can't buy it.
Can't even find
You
it.
either gotta do
We go out front.
you either gotta do a molding
no,
on
nah.
it and have it custom made.
Custom made. Who wants to do custom work on a rental property? He said the heat in there was bad, so okay.
The air handler inside doesn't look bad.
It doesn't look bad, but he said it's no good.
Oh, no, I believe him.
So here, look at this, all this stuff here. This stuff is just a recipe. Old houses, people don't know how to, they have to have a specific contractor, a specific guy that knows how to do this, y'all. You know, this is what happens when you got older guys matching up new with old T111. And I'm not even that good. Smitty, I'm just not, you know, I've been around for a minute. I'm not good enough to know what to do with that stuff. Another thing that you have to keep in mind buying older houses is matching up old and new building materials. We touched it a little bit with the trim, right? A little bit. But the exterior asbestos shingles, matching it up with new vinyl siding, or perhaps putting brick in there. And even with the old 2x4s and 2x8s and 2x10s, did you know that nowadays a 2x4 is not a real 2x4? It's cut smaller. I think it's like 1 5/8 by 3 5/8. I don't know exactly what it is, but matching up old materials with new, very challenging. I don't have that skill. I have to hire a contractor that knows how to do that. And sometimes these walls are out of square. That means your room is not an actual square because the building supplies that they used years ago wasn't as advanced as it is now. So I've done I've done kitchens where this side of the kitchen is about 3 inches more into the room than the farther side of the kitchen. So the wall is actually going like this, but you can't see it with your eye. So you can see in this one how that exterior wall is kind of coming out. It's not even a 90-degree angle. So trying to match up old materials with new materials, very challenging. And once again, drives your budget up. Trying to match up out of square, what happens is those right angles there, they may not be a real right angle. So trying to match that stuff up, it's a recipe for disaster. What?
We looked at that dual fireplace. You know, you still got the chimney, but everything below is
Clogged up, closed in.
off, so that's a prime water leak area.
There you go. That chimney's gonna leak. I don't necessarily mind the area. It's pretty cool, but for 80,000, I'm not doing it. Maybe we'll call him and make him an offer for 60 or something. All right, so I just wanted to point out some stuff. What do you look at in older homes, y'all? This is just another day. Go ahead.
Here's another
What?
old home thing, plumbing on the outside.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that galvanized weighs. How much does that stack weigh? 1,000 pounds?
Probably not that much, but yeah, that's
500?
the way they used to run it. That's the
Exterior,
main coming
yeah,
off
that's the
of,
stack.
you know, on the exterior of the house.
But Smitty, I know that thing is heavy, dog. I mean, a 3-foot piece could be 80 pounds, brother. I picked one of those things up. So you got that stack, y'all. That's a good point. So you got to just cut out. What I do when I have galvanized, I just whack it, put PVC in there. And that's relieving there. Galvanized plumbing, cast iron plumbing is a nightmare. I'm here to tell you, how many houses have I bought? I tried to keep it, ends up backfiring on me in the long run, right? Because that stuff always rusts out. I don't care if it's the drain lines or the supply lines, it's gonna rust out. And it's heavy. So that's another expense where you gotta cut all that stuff out if you try to keep it. And if you do keep it, it could end up messing up or deteriorating under the house. I've seen it where the line has literally just turned into, it is rusted completely out, and your sewer line is draining under the house. Talk about nasty. That's when your budget goes super high. So all this stuff here, you got to keep in mind when you're buying older houses, right? So that's another reason why I would prefer for me to buy houses built after 1960, 70, right? Not before. So I hope you've learned a lot with this video. I got another one here, right here, where I walked through an older house with one of my lenders, and he pointed out a whole lot of stuff too. So Mike has been doing this for 30 years, longer than me. You can see how he looks at what he looks at when he goes through a property. All right. So thanks for hanging out with me, Roundup. I hope you enjoy your day. Subscribe to the channel, like the content, share with any other investors, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.